What is one thing you will never ever do? Eat the box that my pizza came in. But that's the best part. My fav is the little plastic table that's in the middle sometimes. Combine frog and dinosaur DNA to create a theme park. Also combine pig and elephant DNA. It just won't splice. Haven't you heard that Loverboy song? Do pig and elephant DNA. Just won't splice. Suck a dick for bus fare. Again. Is it on Pornhub? Crack. Crack is whack. Weed is what you need. Lick a puby public toilet. But do you have your urinal cake and eat it too? Only if the rock candy is fresh. Imagine that the audience is naked while giving a presentation. My brain power is trying to keep the words going. I don't have cells on the side for that kind of imagination. As if I need boner fuel. SRS. I tried that and all that happened was I got a boner. Worst is when someone in the audience gives you a good compliment and you feel a boner coming on. Then there's an awkward lapse in your responses as most of your mental energy gets redirected to neutralizing the boner. It's times like this where I'm incredibly grateful not to have a dick. Download a car. You wouldn't kill a police officer, then steal his helmet. And then go to the toilet in his helmet. Then mail it to his grieving widow. Meth. Not even once. For anyone who is considering heroin for any reason, I urge them to go red/u/spontaneous user page in posting history. Oh my god. Already wasn't planning on doing heroin, but now I'm staying very far away from that stuff. Jesus Christ man. Same here. If any subconscious part of my brain has ever even considered doing heroin, those parts have been slap silly. I mean, as a former heroin addict, I never planned on doing heroin as a younger man. It just ended up there. Purposely break a Lego set. A psychological horror I could never bring myself to do. Mayo. I did that when I was like 11. My mom pissed me off, so I went to my room, grabbed my Lego Star Wars Gungan sub and just dropped it on the floor. And it never got put back together. I still regret it. Never tore one apart myself. Built a Lego city and watched my older brother and dad get into a fight as a kid. They Godzilla'd my Lego city. Shit. I'd like die inside to see someone destroy all that hard work. Especially if I was the one who built it. Heroin. I was on morphine after an operation and hated it. I have negative desire to try heroin. I was given morphine at the hospital to relieve stomach ulcer pain, and the feeling was so good that I understood how people get hooked on opiates. I never tried it again because I knew I'd get hooked. I was given IV morphine for appendicitis pain. It barely did anything for me in terms of reduction of pain. Just felt sleepy. But a week later I went back BC of complications, and this time was given Dilaudid for the pain. I felt like I was floating on a cloud, and I distinctly remember thinking no. I feel way too good right now. I would never try it recreationally, ever, for the same reason as you. I wasn't so lucky. Surgery on jaw and nose. Got sent home with a script after being on morphine and Dilaudid at the hospital. Once my script ran out after a couple weeks I felt weird. Turns out I was withdrawing. That turned into a heroin addiction for 6 years. 5 years clean now though. Congrats on your sobriety, friend. Become the NBA's shortest professional basketball player edit. This blew up, like my hopes and dreams. Also I'm 51 for those who asked below. Because someone shorter than you will also make the NBA. Shakes first every damn time. Trust a Sicilian when death is on the line. Inconceivable. You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means. Dude, I just watched that movie for the first time today. Congratulations. The references will never leave you. Drink and drive. Opsed 1. Well, fine. Driving while intoxicated. Better. Run for office. The country needs you. Anyone who is capable of getting themselves made president should on no account be allowed to do the job. / Douglas Adams. Welcome, Prince, said Aslan. Do you feel yourself sufficient to take up the kingship of Narnia? I don't think I do, sir, said Caspian. I'm only a kid. But, said Aslan, if you had felt yourself sufficient, it would have been proof that you were not. C.S. Lewis. There is a tragic flaw in our precious constitution, and I don't know what can be done to fix it. This is it. Only nutcases want to be president. Kurt Vonnegut. Treat any retail or service employees like garbage. After working retail I couldn't bring myself to do it. It's funny. I work with a guy and we both spent years in restaurants. And he feels that his former experience as a server entitles him to complain and send stuff back. And ask for comps. I can't go to restaurants with him. I understand that to an extent. Because now we know how the business works after being there. If there's a hair in my soup I'm gonna send it back. But I won't dare be rude. It's not my waitress' fault and I know the chef didn't put it there on purpose. He'll send it back and wait and leave a nice tip. There's nothing wrong with complaining. If they burned your steak send it back. Just don't be rude is a golden rule here. My mom complained about her food a lot. Was never rude. But she complained about little things you should let go. My rule became, don't complain until I get all of my food. Stick things down my dick hole. For the love of God thank you. I worked in healthcare and have seen way too many things shoved down men's dick holes. Anyone ever explained how or why that happened? Slipped and fell. Million to one shot doc. Give birth. Wish my mom had made the same decision I'd eat. Thanks guys. No this wasn't a joke. I actually wish that I wasn't the fastest sperm. Big fucking mood. Edit the frig word. Swim over a trench. Even thinking about it makes my legs feel funny. Big r/thalassophobia r/the depths below energy. I hate those subs, but I still want to look at them. Thanks. I hate it. Have a period. Not even in your sentence apparently. He is a man of focus, commitment, and sheer ducking will. Why is he ducking will? Why not? Fight side by side with an elf. How about with a friend? I can do that. Yeah my friend now Mr. P. Sniffle, Morgan Freeman, and the two headed off on their way. Many years of adventure solidify their unlucky friendship until one unfortunate event lands a dying sex herbivore in the arms of P. Sniffle. At this moment, with his last bit of strength, sex herbivore pulls down the hood of his cloak. P. Sniffle's tears stream down his face as he realizes sex herbivore was, in fact, an elf this whole time. Apostrophe.
What we do here is go
have a man take a fat shit in my mouth. But you're open to a woman taking a fat shit in your mouth. No has into men who take skinny shits. r/brand my sentence. Cheat on any of my GFS. I had it happen to me in a bad way in a 4-year relationship and I know the pain. So I vowed to never do that to anyone ever. Wait, how many girlfriends do you have? And do they know about each other? Because if not, I meant any of my future GFS that'll have. I'm not currently in a relationship. Wow, get a load of Mr. Confident over here. I'm so lonely. Edit thanks all for the kind and helpful replies. You're all a bunch of menches. Smoke a cigarette. My grandpa smoked 3 packs a day starting when he was 12 years old until he was 50. He then quit and only smoked 2 packs a day. He lived for another decade or so before he unsurprisingly died from lung cancer. Seeing what he went through in the last few months was enough to convince me to never touch a cigarette. His lungs were so bad. When the doctors diagnosed him, the doctor legitimately said, "Smoke them if you got them. Because you might as well enjoy your last little bit of time." I wish he could have quit for real in time for it to make a difference. Have biological children. Too many bad genes that I would rather spare someone else from inheriting. Same here. I have cystic fibrosis. The last thing I want to do is give birth to children who simply carry the gene. But I couldn't live with myself if my children end up having compare. If I decide to be a parent one day and life is good, I'll adopt them. When another driver is trying to do me a favor that I deem safe, I'll never accept it/do it. If I do it at all again, It has to appear overwhelmingly safe without giving them a wave and saying thanks. Generally safe example, changing lanes was always a problem back when I was riding in big rigs. We sincerely appreciate the people in the lane we are merging into who see our turn signals on and flash their lights at us. This tells us, we see you. You have plenty of room. And we are not going to be the typical prick who demonstrates that they want to die RN by speeding up. We got you. Go ahead and get over if everything else looks good. If you do that for a trucker and they flash their lights back, that was their way of saying thanks. Same. I always wave. And I get old man disgruntled when they don't wave if I give them a driving favor. Kill someone if this whole coronavirus thing goes to shit. It might be the guy that dies first in the movie, the whimpering one in the corner. I feel like I could shoot someone, but there's no way I could bludgeon someone to death some summer him like a hammer or a baseball bat. I have a hard enough time even bonking a fish. Same. I accidentally stepped on a mouse and killed it when I was like 10, and I still feel terrible about it over 20 years later. I have never seen anything that I relate to more on this site than this comment. Bungee jump. A broken rubber brought me into this world and am sure as hell not gonna let one take me out. Wait, waro. Just had a mental knot there wondering about the umbilical cord. Realized they meant a love glove. Kill dogs, eat dogs, grill dogs, hot dogs, cold dogs. Hey, thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe.